This episode is sponsored by Tomplay.
Sharp Dressed Man by ZZ Top. If you have only just started to learn drums, learn this song. Not only is it a banger, that kind of goes without saying, and no, I can't play it to you because copyright reasons, so the link is down below if you do want to listen to it. But if you clicked on this video, then you probably know the song anyway. Obviously, I'm going to teach you how to play said song, but I'm going to teach you 3 different ways you can approach learning not only this song, but songs in general. So you're actually going to take away some drumming skills, fantastic, some new fills, amazing, even better. But the more crucial skill of being able to break down songs in different ways, to count your way through songs, to just get through a structure and then worry about the details later. And also there's a third way, which I'll explain later. So let's get into it, shall we? For this song, I have created this cheat sheet here. Nice and colourful, we like it, and don't worry if it's intimidating, I shall explain everything. You can also download the PDF for free down here. Method number 1 is learn the structure and learn the main groove/grooves. So in this case, it's lovely and simple because we're literally playing what we call a 4 to the floor. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and in the hi-hat 2 and 4 on the snare drum. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and the bass drum is on beats 1, 2, 3 and 4. A 4 to the floor. So you'll get this 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and lucky for you, this song only uses this groove. I love it so much. I love ZZ Top. So before you worry about literally anything else, just get that down. If you're brand new to drums, I'm going to go over some technical bits and bobs right now. So if you already know all this stuff, skip ahead. Here's some technique things that will serve you very, very well. First of all, when we hit the snare drum, no sticky sticks. So what do I mean by this? When we hit the drum, make sure it bounces off. And you want to freeze that stick, so to speak, once you've hit it about a couple fingers height off the snare drum. Every single time. Make sure it's nice and synced up with your bass drum, so no flamming between limbs. What does this mean? This. Nothing earlier or later than it needs to be. Everything nice and together. Now, coming over to the hi-hat, another technical thing. I'm going to show you the rock hi-hat pattern, which is quite simply our 8th notes, so your 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. But you're going to play the shoulder, this is the shoulder of the stick, on the edge for your numbers 1. And as we lift up with the wrist, you'll notice that the stick is suddenly in line with the tip of the stick on top of the hi-hat. Now you're not doing this because we have to lift off a little bit, but you go 1, lift with the wrist, and then just a little tap. I'm closing my fingers just a little bit to get this kind of motion. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Watch your elbows. We don't need this. It's all in the wrist. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. The reason I'm showing you this, and you don't necessarily have to use it, but when we're playing this song, because it's 125 BPM and it's so long and it's the same thing for the whole song, this will help you get the speed you want. This is way easier than this, as you can see. If you want to be stylistically appropriate, which, I mean, fair enough, you can just hit one edge because that's kind of how it sounds on the record. But it is entirely up to you. I thought I'd just give that to you. But let's go back to the song. On the sheet, you will see that there are these colourful boxes with stuff in them. Basically, it's the structure of the entire song in as simple a form as humanly possible. It's quite literally the section name, so V stands for verse, C stands for chorus. Got an introduction, we've got a link. I'll explain that a little bit in a minute. It's nothing that deep. We've got a guitar solo and we've got a long outro, which honestly is more of like a fade out, so I've just made it quite long. And underneath that, you'll see there are numbers. Now, these numbers tell you how many bars are in each section. If you've never heard of what a bar is, that is literally just a slice of time that is determined by the time signature. Again, we won't get too woo-woo and crazy over here. All you need to know is that that means 4 beats equal 1 bar. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 1 bar. So if I was to count 4 bars, you'd get this. And I do suggest you get in the habit of counting this way. It will feel a bit weird and might get you lost a couple times, but because the groove is reasonably simple, this is actually a really good song to learn how to do this with. So you'll get 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4. So notice how the first one, the 1, turns into the bar number. Counting in that way will just help you keep count in general. And that is exactly what we're doing with this first half of the page. So what you'll do is count through the entire song with just this groove. You're not worrying about crash cymbals. You're not worrying about fills. We will get onto fills in a minute, as you can probably see on the sheet. They're down below. But just get that down first, a little bit more explaining of the numbers. Why have I broken it up into 4 times 3 instead of just writing 12? So you can just write 12, and yeah, I could have done that for the intro, but when we get to the guitar solo and you're playing these just reams and reams and reams of the same thing over and over and over again, it can help to just break down each section into smaller chunks so you can just process it a little bit easier, because otherwise I'd be counting up to 36 or whatever, and that'd be insane. As you go through this structure as well, you'll get more and more familiar with how the solo sounds, so it'll get to a point potentially where you don't have to count anymore, but I do recommend you keep counting because of the fills later, and that will be explained shortly. This song is quite fast, so if you need to, you can also, if you're playing it on YouTube, for example, you can go to the playback speed and turn down the playback. You often get, I think, 0.75, which is crazy slow. So go to custom and you can adjust it in there to something a bit more like 0.85, 0.9, something like that. So just as a demonstration of how you should count through this, I'll play intro, verse and chorus, counting the correct way and saying the part of the structure we're in. I know I said forget about all the crashes, but it does start with a crash. Just so we know. If you can catch it, you can have it. 1, 2, 3. 1, 3, 2, 3, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3. And again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3. And again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4. Going into the verse, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 6, 2, 3, 4, 7, 2, 3, 4, 8, 2, and into the chorus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3. Now in that you will hear stops, fills, other stuff going on. Ignore it, because all you're trying to get into your noggin is how to count through bars while you've got a song going on, while you're keeping in time. That is a skill in and of itself. So give it a go. Hopefully that kind of 4 times 3 thing now makes a bit more sense. But yeah, when you see 4 times 9 and 4 times 10, I'm not kidding. They do go on that long. So just stay with it. See if you can kind of associate certain phrases in the solo that the guitarist is playing with the number of time you are on, so you can kind of keep locked in and know you're in the right spot. If you're playing this live with a band, it's kind of out the window, and you'll probably end up just kind of looking at each other and nodding and going, okay, we're going to change to the next section now. But you can decide that with your bandmates. Also another argument for learning how to count instead of relying on what the song does. Anyway, enough waffle. The next bit. Oh my God, Emma, what is this? I thought this was going to make reading songs easier. Allow me to explain just a little bit. I know it can look a little bit intimidating, but I've tried to make this song fit on one page in a way that is super simple. So next part of the process, number 2, learn all the fills by themselves, completely isolated from the song. Forget about that structure that you just learnt. and just play the fills to the point where you don't have to think about them anymore. And if reading is not your strong suit, which it's unlikely at this point, especially if you are a new drummer, or you've been playing for a while and you just hate reading, I have some really good news. On this PDF, you can just click each thing and the notation will come up on a website and you can just play it and hear it at different tempos. You can do what you want and you can loop it and play along to it. Happy days. I know. All of these fills, excluding the chorus, but again, we'll talk about that in a minute, have a bar of groove just to get you into it and then the fills. So first one goes like this. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. After every single one of these fills, there is a crash. I didn't notate it on here, but I'm telling you now. Just assume there's a crash in almost all places after a fill on the 1. Usually is so. There are a couple things in here you can do to simplify this. Number 1, you can take the kick off of the and of 1. So you can just keep that 4 to the floor going if you want. 2, 3, 4. With that in mind, let's get rid of beat 1 and 2 as well. So let's just look at bit 3 and 4. Counting it, you'll get this. 3 and 4 E and. If you prefer, you can also go 3, no hi-hat on the and, just get the snare drum, and 4 E and with a kick. 3 and 4 E and. Just give yourself a sec and reset and do it again. So 3 and 4 E and. Don't forget about that kick on that first right. I'm playing this right, left, right. And I do suggest you count it out loud, 4 E and. Again, just kind of good housekeeping, really, but also learn it in a melodic way so you can just hear it in your head. So dum dum da, da da da. Whatever works for you, really. Loop that, like I said, click on it, loop it over and over again at a slower tempo, the slowest you need it to be to play it right. And that can be dead slow, by the way. Work that up to the tempo you need it, 125, maybe just push it slightly over as well, so up to 130 if you can manage it, just because it means when you then put it back in the song, you're not freaking out about it so much because it actually feels slower than you're able to play it. That's a good hack. Keep that one. Now, just as a precursor of how you want to approach applying these fills into the song structure that we have up here, basically, to the left-hand side, you have written where it lives, essentially. So I've written intro bar 11 and 12, which is the 3rd time. If you look up at the colourful boxes at the top, remember we've got 4 times 3. I know this feels a bit complicated, but when you get to that 3rd time, remember that's 4 bars long, we get through bar 1, bar 2, and then the 3rd bar of that is the beginning of that fill. So again, I'll count it out for you. If you're finding it overwhelming with the counting, just go slower. I know that sounds a bit daft, but trust me, you just have a bit more time to process things. And if you find that instead of going 4 times 3, just counting up to 12 is easier, that is completely fine, which is exactly why I've written intro bar 11 and 12 if you want to do it that way. We'll also get it again at the very end, bar 1920 / the 5th time through at the very end, but we'll get to that shortly. 1, 2, 3. 4, 2, and again. 1, 2, 3, yeah. 3, 2, 3, 4, 4. So the last time is 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, and into the fill. 3, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. There we go. So hopefully that makes some sense. I really hope it does. I'm trying out a new format with this sheet. Please let me know down in the comments if it makes sense and if it works for you, because obviously I'm not a beginner drummer, so let me know. And also, like I said earlier, all of these fills, once you have done them, end with a crash with a bass drum. So the crash will fall on beat 1 of your groove. 1, 2, 3. Not this. 1, 2. No. Let's move on to the chorus, because this is a 4-bar section which I've written all of in this little chunk here just to make life a bit easier for you. So this is the bit where it goes, "Here come running just as fast as they can. Every girl crazy about a sharp neck. Ow, wow, wow." Can't sing any more than that, otherwise the copyright people will come after me. But basically, first 2 bars are pretty simple. We're just adding an extra snare drum. So let's learn that first. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So take that very, very slowly. Again, back to the drawing board, note for note. 2 and 3 and 4. Get used to snare drum by itself with the hi-hat and then snare drum with the bass drum together. So keep counting, will be easy to get lost. So you get that down, fantastic. But then we have this. What is this? It's a cymbal choke. And that's quite a fun technique to get down if you've never done it before. Just a great way to snuff out a note on a cymbal because it just has a bit more of a punchy effect. And how we get this is a normal cymbal hit. So shoulder of the stick against the edge of the crash. And as we go forward, instead of just one hand going forward, both hands go forward. And you notice here, I've actually moved the stick back just a smidge. It kind of should happen pretty naturally in my hand to allow my hand to open up and be able to pinch the thumb on top, fingers underneath, to then stop the cymbal. Just practice that by itself, because if you do it too quick, it's a bit, and if you do it too long, it's a bit, kind of loses the effect. So just take a bit of time, get that bit more comfortable. In the song, I'm pretty sure he doesn't play it with a kick drum, but practice it with and without. Also try it on other cymbals. You notice over here, I actually did it with just one hand. And it's a bit harder to get and can be a little bit more dangerous as well because you can catch your finger in there. If you jump forward too fast, you might cut your hand, so be careful. So let's get bar 1, 2, and 3 now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, and 4. 1. See, even I went for a kick drum. And honestly, if you do, no one will die, but it's up to you. If you want to be a purist, you can be a purist. So let's do it again. 1, 3, 4, 2, 3, and 4, and 1. Crazy about short dress, do. Okay, bar 4. I've taken some creative liberties because on the record, again, I think he's doing 2 more cymbal chokes in a row on beats 1 and 2. Other people say it's snare drum and crash round the kit. It's entirely up to you, but because I wanted the punchiness of the snare, I was like, you know what, I'm just going to do open hi-hat and snare drum and close it on the and, so you get 1 and 2 and. If that feels like too much for you, then don't do it. Do the other thing. It's entirely up to you. Then what happens? Beat 3 and 4. So I've written this high, high, low, low. You can do that right, left. You can do it right, right. But it's a little bit more correct if you go right, left. Just a bit harder to get back to crash if you only have 1. If you have 2 crashes, you're golden. So right, crash. Right, crash. Right, left, crash. It's up to you. I've also written on there optional mid-tom, which is exactly how it sounds. It's an optional mid-tom. I don't have the option to play a mid-tom, so I won't play it, but you can go do if you want to be a bit more accurate to the song. So there you have it. Stick that together. I'm going to play all 4 bars. Take it so slow you can't get it wrong. Let's do it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fast as they can. Every girl crazy about a short man. Wow, wow, wow. Ba, 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 wow, wow. Do the same process as you did for the first fill, which is playing it so slow over and over and over again till you cannot get it wrong, till it's in your muscle memory, and then you bring up the tempo very gradually. Aim for 130, bring it then down to 125, but don't freak out if you can't play it at 130. Just aim for 125. It's up to you. There's a lot of up to yous because there is a lot of up to yous. So let's zoom back out for a minute. So what should your eyes be doing while you're playing along with this? Obviously, yes, you could learn the whole thing, but if you want to be learning and playing this at a glance and not having to retain literally everything, then what you want is to start the song knowing that you start with a crash and you've got your main groove. And you know you've got 4 lots of 3, 12 bars as the intro. And then when you get to that third time round, so remember you've got 4, 4, 4, you get to that third time, that's when you start thinking about bringing your eyes down here, because you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, eyes down to the intro fill, 3, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3, that, and then a crash into your verse. And what will help is playing along with the song. The link is down below, because you'll get a lot more audio cues as well. That will make your life a lot easier. Right now, this is all extremely technical, but as soon as you kind of have the association of like the song and how that sounds, it will make life a lot easier, and you'll feel when things should be as well. It gets a bit more complicated and a bit more precise as we get into the solos, but we'll get to that in a minute. So you've gone intro, fill, and then your eyes go back up to verse. So then we've got 8 bars of verse. So once you know you're counting, you're kind of golden. As long as you're counting, playing the groove, you know you've got 8 bars to kill until you then bring your eyes down to this 4-bar chorus, because it's every single chorus. So you've gone through, every girl crazy about a sharp dress, do, 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 crash into link. Now, don't worry about the name of this specifically. It's just a part of a song that isn't a specifically defined section as such. Sometimes it has a little musical phrase in it, but in this case it doesn't. It's literally just the riff. So the da 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 do 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 do, that bit. So the link is literally 4 bars, main groove. Then into the verse, same again, 8 bars. Count that through. You get your chorus again. So again, your eyes will come down here, and then we get our first guitar solo. So as you can see, 4 times 9. Oh, that is nicer than trying to count every single one. So this is where the kind of mental exercise of all this starts to come in a little bit more, because you're already counting within the bar, groups of 4, and then you have to remember how many groups of 4 you've done. So it's a big old brain exercise, and it takes a little bit of time. So be kind to yourself. So before we steam ahead through the rest of the structure, let's look at the other fills. The ones that say solo are that guitar solo we just got to, and the ones that say outro are the outro. Surprise, surprise. First fill, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Love that. Nice and simple. 8th notes, then 16th notes. 1 and 2 and 3 key and a 4. Play the bar of groove beforehand. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, left, right, left, right, left. Yes, don't forget your crashes afterwards. 2, 3, 4. Practice it over and over again as a loop. You can click on it if you need to hear it or want to play along with it. Bring up the tempo gradually to 125, if not 130, and then do the rest with the other ones. So, next one. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and again. Lovely and simple. So we're getting basically a half of a normal bar. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and bass drums with your right, which will feel very natural because we've been doing this the whole song. 1, 2, 3 and 4, and 1, 2, 3 and 4, and yeah, don't forget it. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Beautiful. Up to speed. 1, 2. One note with that. Just try and keep all your single strokes, all your hits across the kit as even as possible volume-wise, hand to hand. We don't want It's very easy to do, so that's why I'm mentioning it. Last fill. We're nearly there. What? Okay, there's a little bit more going on in here. So, like I said with the first fill, we've got those 3 bass drums in a row. 1 and 2 and. So that last bass drum is falling with the snare drum. The extra one, the one on the and of 1. 1 and. That one. If you feel like that bass drum beat's a bit hard for you, even though you're just syncing up your 8th notes with your kick, that is okay. You can take it out. So you can literally go 1, 2, bring your hand, right hand over to the floor tom and hit snare drum and floor tom together as well as the kick. 3, no kick, and 4. 3 and 4 and if you want to be really cheeky about it, put a little build up in there. So once you get a bit more comfortable with it, see if you can bring up the volume in just that short space of time. So then you're really ready. If you've got 2 crashes, oh, happy days, because you can go hit 2 crashes with a kick. Woo! Then you're going to really feel like a drummer. It's real satisfying. Oh! Oh! So let me just play that whole block of fills in a row, just so you can hear them all. 3, 4, 1. So fun. Get them all down, because there you've already been given a bunch of fills that you can now add to your playing. You don't have to just keep it to this song. They're yours now. Now, the last step, let's fit all of those into the structure that we had up above. We're at the guitar solo. We're going around 4 bars, 9 times. And like I said earlier, when you're hearing the song over and over again, you'll learn how that feels over time. But if you want the specific position of these fills, you've got, first of all, and your eyes, once you get to the guitar solo, once you've played through up to it, you want your eyes to travel down here while you're still counting. Yeah, it's a bit of an exercise. Bar 19 and 20. So what does that mean? Remember last time we had our groups of 4. So this will happen on the 5th time. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember, it's only 2 bars that this lasts for. So it's those 2. We're not starting the fill on this one here. You have to wait another 2 bars to then get to the fill. I know that feels a bit confusing, but just sit with it, take your time. Remember, you can slow down the song if you need to. And conveniently for us, this fill also happens again, bar 27, 28 of the outro. So that's the 7th time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Get over to 7. Don't play it straight away. We wait 2 bars and then you're into the 2 bars on the sheet. So it's quite a lot of counting, but I feel like this is actually a bit simpler than having to read reams and reams of reams of the same groove over and over again. So I'll demonstrate this one placement just because it's the 5th time and not the 7th or 8th time, because that's going to take ages, but I'll just show you what I mean. So if we start at the beginning of the guitar solo, we'll have this. Play it a bit slower as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, second time, 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, third time, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, fourth time, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2. Now the important one, not yet. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, and here we go. Fill. 1, 2, 3, 4. So on and so forth up until the 9th time. And 2 bars later, or 2 times, sorry, 2 times later, you will get this fill as well. So you take the same process, you'll end up with, at the end of the 7th time, the fill. And with the outro, once we get to that, because we're just going through sections after that point that we already know. So verse, you've already got that down. Chorus, we know we jump down here visually. And then we get to the long outro. And there is a fade out, so there's no specific ending as such. If you're playing this live with a band, you guys can come up with that. Probably end on the one somewhere. This structure can kind of get a little bit ambiguous once you get into improvising and guitar solos. Right, so which fills are in this outro? Don't forget this little bad boy up here. So yes, this fill comes up again, bar 1920, so the 5th time up there. We've also got 7th time down here, this fill again, and then the 8th time bar down here. And by that point, you're probably fading out. And if I'm being real with you, you don't have to be a stickler for the actual song if you don't want to be. As in, you're at the end of the song, you can start pulling some stuff out of your back pocket if you want. You can start just messing about. And what I mean within this, and this is a very important point to make, at home you can do what you want, but you do want to train yourself to make stylistically appropriate decisions. What does this mean? You've kind of been set a template for what this drummer, in this case Frank Beard, plays like. So he likes his 8th note very simple, very solid playing. So you can't then pull out. Don't do that. What you want is something like 1, 2, 3, 4. At the most, that's what you'd probably go with, right? So keep that in mind as you're going through the rest of the structure. And there you have it. There's 2 different approaches to learning. I call it different approaches because you kind of need, well, you do need to do both, but you can choose which order you go in. Now, the 3rd approach, if you click the title at the top of this sheet, it will take you to today's sponsor of this episode. Learning songs and reading notation on drums can be difficult. Actually, I'd actively say that it's difficult on any instrument, which is exactly why when tools come along that make the process a lot easier, I'm going to scream it from the rooftops. So here we go. Tomplay allows you to play along with and learn your favourite songs in the way that works for you. So whether that's traditional notation, dots on a page, or whether you prefer just having a structure in front of you that you can jam out with. I think that's a feature that's actually really cool that they've included. They've got over 90,000 scores, which they're adding about 200 to every week, and you can pick different difficulties for each one, so from easy to advanced, depending on how difficult the song is in the first place. You can adjust the speed of the song via the metronome, which is obviously crucial for the learning process. I don't think anyone can play anything 100% speed perfectly straight out. And another thing I like about this specifically is that you can also change the levels of the playback music and the click level, which is something that is actually very handy sometimes. And the main thing I like about Tomplay is the fact you can press a button and just record what you're playing and listen back to it. Why is that valuable, Emma? Why do I want that? Because as an educator, I can vouch for this. If you can just listen to yourself back, you can hear so much more of your playing and what you're doing wrong and things you want to tweak, instead of trying to do it while you're playing at the same time. It's kind of, well, it is impossible to do at the same time. So that is such a useful tool. The fact that you can just press a button and record yourself instead of having to have a phone or a camera set up on a rickety tripod somewhere that's probably going to fall down halfway through the performance. Ugh. That makes life so much easier.
So if that sounds like it's up your alley, you can try it out with a 14-day free trial.
Thank you so much, Advertising Emma, and thank you so much for watching this episode of The Drummer's Songbook. I think this is classed as an extension of The Drummer's Songbook. And if you like this format, please let me know by liking, commenting, and subscribing to this channel. And more importantly, I would really, really love some feedback on this single sheet song format. I don't think I could squeeze it all onto one sheet if it was any more complicated than this song. We'd probably have to go for 2. But if this is something that's helpful for you, please let me know, because I would love to do more like this and refine this kind of song learning process a little bit more. So again, let me know down in the comments. Other than that, happy playing. Biggest of love. I haven't said that for ages. Big love. Mwah!